Israel is ablaze, not with rockets or bombs, but with the fury of its own people. Thousands have taken to the streets, their voices roar with anger and despair. Their demand, the immediate release of over 100 hostages held captive by Hamas in Gaza. Tel Aviv, the nation's beating heart, throbs with the chants of protesters. They gather, undeterred by the ever-present threat of violence. Their message is clear: bring our people home. These protests are not merely a response to the hostage crisis, they are a boiling over of long-simmering frustrations. The Israeli public feels betrayed, left in the dark by their own government. They see a leadership failing to act decisively, failing to prioritize the lives of its citizens. The question on everyone's lips is simple: how did it come to this? The weight of the crisis rests heavily on the shoulders of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. His leadership, once unquestioned, is now facing an unprecedented wave of criticism. From all corners of the political spectrum, accusations fly. Netanyahu, critics argue, has mishandled the situation from the start. His government stands accused of a lack of transparency, of prioritizing political maneuvering over the lives of its people. Rumors swirl of internal divisions within Netanyahu's own Security Council. Reports suggest disagreements over a proposed hostage and ceasefire deal, though Netanyahu's office denies any such discord. Whether true or not, the perception of disarray only fuels public anger. The man who once seemed invincible now appears vulnerable, his grip on power seemingly weakened by each passing day. Amidst the political turmoil, the voices that resonate most powerfully are those of the hostage families. Their pain is palpable, their grief etched on their faces. They accuse Netanyahu of choosing escalation over negotiation, of prioritizing military action over the safe return of their loved ones. Their demands are simple, their pleas heartbreaking. We just want our families back. These families have become a potent symbol of the crisis. Their unwavering commitment to their cause has resonated throughout Israeli society. They have vowed to continue their protests, their voices growing louder with each passing day. Their message is impossible to ignore. The hostages are not bargaining chips, they are human beings, and their lives hang in the balance. Section 4, International Stage, Domestic Discord, Netanyahu's Balancing Act. The hostage crisis has thrust Israel onto the center of the global stage. As Netanyahu attempts to navigate the complex diplomatic landscape, he faces a delicate balancing act. He must appease international allies while simultaneously quelling the growing unrest at home. The pressure is immense, the stakes impossibly high. Netanyahu's recent visit to the United States, intended to shore up support, was met with a wave of anti-Israel protests. Demonstrators, angered by the ongoing conflict, targeted not only Netanyahu but also Vice President Kamala Harris. They accused the Biden administration of inaction, of failing to hold Israel accountable for its actions. The protests, though geographically distant, serve as a stark reminder of the global implications of the hostage crisis. Section 5. A world watches. The urgency for resolution grows. The world watches and waits, holding its breath. The situation in Israel is a powder keg, the potential for further violence a terrifying reality. The international community urges restraint, calling for a swift and peaceful resolution to the crisis. Time is of the essence. The fate of the hostages hangs precariously in the balance. Every day that passes brings with it renewed fear, renewed uncertainty. The world watches and waits, hoping for a miracle, praying for the safe return of those held captive. The need for action has never been more urgent. The world is watching, Mr. Netanyahu. The world is waiting.